The growth of Asa Mitaka continues, and it's really cool this chapter to see her kind of coming out of her shell completely. However, the sad part about this is, Tatsuki Fujimoto's got to pull a Tatsuki Fujimoto anytime good character development's happening. But let's talk about chapter 105 of Chainsaw Man Part 2. Let's get straight into it, Rima Ru. The bickering between Asa and Yoru continues this chapter, but you can truly see how their bond is continuing to develop. In this chapter, interestingly enough, we see for the first time, Asa is able to truly not only voice her opinions, but kind of manipulate situations into her favor. Although Asa kinda learned who the Chainsaw Man was last chapter, she didn't believe that some random t-shirt wearing fan who exclaims that he's the Chainsaw Man could be the real deal. And little does she know. And although Yoru initially thought otherwise, that Denji could potentially actually be the Chainsaw Man, Asa was able to talk her out of that idea. But she does have a one-track mind still. She's still trying to find the Chainsaw Man, and her first thought is that we could go to the Devil Hunting Club, and if you don't go there, I'm gonna bop you. And I must say, this idea kind of cracked me up while I'm reading. I thought that, the War Devil, one of the four horsemen, would be a little bit more intelligent than this. The Control Devil, Makima, last time was literally Isayama, Eren Yeager pulling the strings from behind the freaking table and everything. Like it was some crazy 4D chess level mind plots. This girl can't even put a good plot together to go find the Chainsaw Man, and I'm kind of rooting for them right now. However, they are not very good at their job. It's only your third day out here though, so I don't blame her too much. However, Asa is not trying to go to the Devil Hunter Club. She's trying to go visit the injured Yuko. Only 2 days ago was the day that the Bat Devil situation happened, and she kind of just wants to go make sure her girl's alright. And to do this is what I was saying earlier. She's finally able to manipulate some situations into her favor. She throws out a really good idea right here. An alternative plan of luring the devil to the school in order to draw out the Chainsaw Man who, should be within the vicinity. And this actually piques Yoru's interest. And like I was saying earlier, it's very cool that she's finally able to manipulate a situation in order to make Yoru step on her words instead of, just making every single plan up on her own. And, she's got to be a big girl. She owns her own body, and if they're going to cohabitate that body, she needs to get her own say sometimes. And as Yoru ponders on how to execute on this plan, Asa actually heads off to visit Yuko, and these girls engage in some friendly banter. She just came over to really keep her company and just see if she was okay, so Asa and her just began having a little bit of fun. And this is a really cute conversation because we figure out that these girls are a lot more similar than we may have even thought beforehand. Yuko truly appreciates Asa as a friend and thanks her for not only saving her, calling her the Chainsaw Woman, but thanks her because they're similar to each other. They're both awkward people who haven't had many friends, and the fact that she actually made one friend who cared about her enough to come visit her made her want to become best friends with her. And to become best friends, Yuko says that we gotta share our deepest, darkest secrets. So unbeknownst to Asa here, Yuko was kinda trying to test her right here. Yesterday, whenever we didn't see Yuko, we just thought she was injured dealing with herself. She actually made a contract with the Justice Devil, and one of her new abilities with that contract is she's actually able to read minds. So whenever she asked Asa this question, she was asking her tell me your deepest, darkest secrets, not thinking that she was actually going to tell her that, but that she was just going to think it within her mind, kind of like some sales technique or some psychology type shit, asking somebody something to provoke the thought within their mind because she can read her mind at this point. She was going to figure out what her deepest, darkest secret was no matter what. And also due to this newfound confidence that Yuko has, she doesn't mind sharing her absolutely outrageous secret. Although Asa shared the type of embarrassing childhood story you probably shouldn't reveal, Yuko reveals a secret big enough to completely baffle and silence Asa. She said she murdered her neighbor because he gambled even though he was on welfare for disability. And this is super interesting because this is a seemingly very small action which your average person wouldn't care too much about. If my neighbor is kind of wasting their life away, as long as they're not hurting anybody else, I don't give a damn. You do you, family. I'm rooting on humanity. And this is where it's weird. So Yuko's sense of justice is obviously very rigid, very strong, and a very odd one. And as she mentions a bit later, the sense of justice that the wielder holds between that contract of the Justice Devil kind of strengthens how strong that Justice Devil is. And I don't want to just theorize that, it's going to be the biggest body, strongest devil that we've seen, but I think it's safe to say that this Justice Devil iteration should be just as strong as the class president, or maybe even a bit stronger, because Yuko's sense of justice, caring about all of society and what each person, just her neighbor, is doing, says a lot about how she feels about, that topic within the world. And I really love this shot of the door between Asa and Yuko right after she reveals her secret. It reminds me a lot of Chainsaw Man Part 1, the door which should not be open. And although it's closed in this shot, it's like Yuko's kind of beginning to open it up. And she even asks Asa if she'd like to do just that. Go check out the body within her backyard, but Asa actually has to decline this. And right here, how Yuko is just code switching during this conversation absolutely scared me. She says she doesn't understand people too well, and that's why this ability suits her, but it seems like she's just taking full-on advantage of it, and truly kind of does to some extent. She just goes between this conversation with Asa, telling her that she just offed somebody, to seeing this old man. Oh, hello, sir. That's such a nice guy. He's my best friend. He feeds me and yada, yada, yada. To immediately revealing her hand completely afterwards, talking about this whole Justice Devil situation. And it really just shows that this woman is cuckoo, crazy, not woman in general. Asa Mitaka's a normal person. Everybody else we've met in this manga, a normal person, but Yuko, batshit crazy. And although we've talked about a lot of this Justice Devil reveal already, we learned some crazy things during this conversation. Yuko now knows everything about Asa Mitaka, given her newfound abilities, and she says that she doesn't actually want to hurt her, that since they're best friends, she's going to keep her secret, and the reason that she actually got this ability was to protect Asa. And this is crazy, because she's kind of turning into this sick, ill-minded vigilante. Think an even darker version of Batman, somebody who doesn't care truly about society and about people, but thinks that they're doing the right thing. They just have this very black and white evil sense of justice where their thoughts are always right. And in order to enact her vigilante sense of justice, she's gonna go help out Asa Mitaka, get rid of that bullying problem that she has at school, and she says something that I'm not even gonna get to talking about on YouTube. Chapter 105. Batshit crazy. We're fully in the Chainsaw Man matrix at this point. Why does Tatsuki Fujimoto have to kick characters every time they're feeling a bit up? He kicks them back down to the ground. It always confuses me. Asa felt like she was doing good. Had a little bit of pep in her step finally for once, however. Tatsuki really didn't care about it. He said, that one friend you've made? Let's screw her over and make her screw you over. And it goes to show, like I said a bit earlier, Yoru's usually right beforehand whenever she says something. Whenever she said maybe we should kill Yuko, maybe they should have done it. Whenever she said, hey, that dude's Chainsaw Man, maybe she should have believed it. However, let bygones be bygones. You can't cry over spilt milk. But these next few chapters are about to be some of the sickest, most twisted, most Chainsaw Man shit that you've seen in a long time. I can't believe Tatsuki actually dropped the "don't come to school tomorrow" bar. That is messed up, bro. In these days, in 2022, you're really doing that? You're going there? He don't care. He already did it before. Oh my god, no, seriously. Chainsaw Man, we always talk about it. This story is halfway just about incels and people who, just can't get outside and can't really interact and truly have, their own place within society. And this arc right here, it's gonna fully encapsulate that you need human interaction. You need to be normal. You need to go touch grass. And that's all I wish. Let's all, me included, go touch some grass. Hasta luego.